welcome back into the JayMac Podcast, where today I'm not really going to be answering a question. I'm going to be venting a little bit. My name is Jay McFarland, and I have a wasp problem. That's right, wasps. You know what I'm talking about. Oof. Even the sound. Yeah. So this all started when I noticed wasps going in and out of a vent outside of the back of our house near the back door. And I'm like, what is that vent for? I don't even know what the vent is for. It looks like a vent that belongs inside your home, not outside your home. Because, you know, most vents outside your home, they have a one-way release. Like the vent for your dryer, your clothes dryer, it can only be pushed open. And it gets pushed open by the air from your dryer. And the rest of the time it's closed. Well, this is just a regular vent. And I have to tell you, I've never given this vent a second thought. And but I also have to tell you, there's some weird things about this house that we own. There's some construction that it wasn't done right. There's wiring that's not done right. We'll pop fuses all the time. There's just, it was one of those things where when you first walked in, you kind of fell in love with the house, but you're not looking at all of the other issues and the problems. And we have found a lot of problems. And so I'm sitting there and these wasps are coming in. And so I decide I'm going to spray some stuff in the vent. I'm going to try some different internet remedies like boric acid, anything that I can do to slow down their growth or whatever, or to keep them from coming into my actual house. Now, I don't really have a problem with wasp nests anywhere else out in my yard. They pretty much, don't bother me unless it's in a gate that opens or something where they're going to get mad when I go by. I pretty much leave them alone. But these guys they're in the walls. And the other day, one of them found its way inside of our house. And so we're like, okay, now this is getting serious. And then another one found its way into our house. And so we're like trying to figure out where they're coming in. We're using bug spray in all of the areas where we think they might be entering the house. We're continuing to assault the vent to see if we can have some impact there. And then last night, I'm sitting on my couch and I've got all the lights off. I'm watching golf. I'm watching the PGA tournament yesterday. And all of a sudden I feel something on my hand. And I go to brush it off and it stings me. And it gets me good. And then it jumps up. I can't see it because it's dark. And it pops me in the elbow again. And of course, I jump up as fast as I can. And I run and I turn the light on. And there is this wasp on the couch. And I wasn't doing anything. I've always thought, if you leave the wasp alone, it will leave you alone. Now, maybe he knows that I've been mounting this assault from outside and inside, and he's not happy with what I've been doing. I don't know. But I know that I've got 2 nice stings on my left arm, and I was just sitting there watching golf. So last night, my son and my son is 20, we decided, well, look, we've got to pull this vent off. And we've got to see what's behind it. And maybe if the nest is right behind it, we can use some wasp spray or something else to get to the nest. The way that we've treated outdoor nests before when they were too close or a problem. So we slowly pull this vent off. And we quickly realized that this vent is not, it's not meant for outdoors. And behind it is this large circular hole that goes into our house. And it goes into our house like, from what I can tell, 7 or 8 feet between the floorboards of upstairs and downstairs. You can see all of the woodworking, all of the joists. You can see the air conditioning ducts coming through. For some reason, now maybe you know, I can't figure it out. I've searched it on the internet. I cannot for the life of me figure out what this hole is there for. And certainly if the hole has a legitimate reason, it needs a vent that is a one-way vent, not a two-way vent. Or a vent that keeps insects from coming into the house. But these wasps have had a free rein getting into the house. And the problem is, looking down into this hole that goes into the center of my home, in the floorboards, I can't see the nest. So I can't spray anything at it. I can't do anything about it. So we're sitting there and we're debating what to do. And of course we're going to the internet and everybody has their option. You know, try boric acid, try setting up traps, try this, try that. And we tried a lot of things and it's just not working. It's just not having an impact. So finally we decide the problem is bigger than ourselves. And so we thought that all you have to do is call up a handy-dandy pest control guy, and they will come out, and they'll treat it with something, or, I don't know, put, a camera in there to see if they can see where the nest is and treat it directly. And what we encountered during this process quickly became one of the most frustrating experiences I've had in a long time. Because it is next to impossible to find a pest control person who actually just comes out on a call and gets rid of your pests. So in the middle of the night, I'm talking to some pest control company and she's like, okay, sure, we can come out tomorrow and it will be $92. And I'm like, okay, great. Come on out. And she says, and then we'll come back in 4 weeks, and that will be $120. And then we'll come back 5 more times over the next year at $120 each. And then we'll come back the next year 5 more times at $120 each. And I'm like, I don't have the money for this right now. We are struggling. And all I want is for somebody to come out and treat this nest. Was I naive to think that it would be just like calling a plumber? That you just call a plumber and they go, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. You come out and they fix the problem. They give you an estimate and they solve the problem. Call after call after call. I could not find any pest control companies who would do anything more than sell these monthly maintenance programs. So many of them said to me, no, we don't go out on individual calls anymore. A lot of them told me, we're not even licensed to treat anything in the walls. We're just licensed to go in and spray stuff around your house. And then the wasps will get that stuff on them and they'll track it back to the beehive or to the hive and it'll kill the hive. Call after call after call. And I'm just sitting there mind blown that I've got live wasps coming into my home and stinging me, and I can't find somebody who just come out and try to address my individual problem. So finally, after call and internet searches, in fact, my son was joking with me when we were searching on the internet because we had to go to page 2 of Google. And he said, you're on page 2 of Google? He said, I have never in my life been on page 2 of Google. And we got to page 5, page 6, page 8, and all we could ever get. And I'm still getting calls on my phone. Hey, when can we sign you up for that monthly maintenance? When can we sign you up? We'll do the first one for cheap, and then you just have to pay for the other 5. I cannot commit to $120 quarterly treatments right now. It's not in the budget. I cannot do it. And I just want somebody to solve my problem. So finally I talked to a guy, and this was the owner of, in fact, I'll give you a shout out if you're looking for a pest control guy, because he was really nice. It's H2 Pest Control. Now, he said he's not licensed. He can't handle my problem. But he did say he thinks that he knows somebody who does. So he gave me the phone number, and I spoke with this individual for some time, and he didn't have an appointment until next Tuesday. And I think he could hear the concern in my voice that, having to deal with wasps coming into my home and stinging me for another week would be quite traumatic. He cleared up his schedule a little bit, and he's coming by tomorrow between 1 and 3. And he hopes he'll be able to deal with the problem. But to me, I just came away thinking that this is a racket. This whole pest control thing it's like a mafia style pay for protection racket. And a lot of their websites would say, get a free quote for service. And what they actually meant was, we're going to call you and we're going to try and talk you into our monthly maintenance, because that's what they do. But their websites did not ever make that clear. It wasn't until after you called and you thought you were going to get somebody to come out to your home that finally you realized they are in the business of selling subscriptions, like magazine subscriptions. And, you tell me they probably work. I'm guessing that if you pay that much money, I mean, what are we talking about? You're talking about $600-$700 a year to keep your home pest free. I'm guessing that it works. You can tell me whether or not it works. But when you find yourself in a situation where you just need a little bit of help finding it, I almost gave up. I didn't know what to do. So hopefully this will work out tomorrow. If it does work out tomorrow, I will share with you the name of the individual who I called, if he wants me to. It sounds like he's very busy. He was booked until next Tuesday. So I don't know if he wants me to give out his information or not. And I'm not going to give out his information until I see the work quality. But I still don't know why I have a strange vent opened up to the inside of my home. And I'm wondering how much that's affecting my air conditioning bill, among other things. It's just been a very frustrating process. And add to it that over the weekend, my kitchen sink clogged, and it took me forever to figure that out. And I finally had to snake the entire line. So I've been enjoying the pleasures of being a homeowner over the past few days, and wondering what possibly could be next as we try and get back on our feet and just try and focus on things that maybe can bring in revenue to this home instead of things that will cost us money. The last thing that I want to hear is this. So, wish me luck. I'll give you an update on the great pest control conspiracy. And hopefully, after tomorrow, I can watch golf again without wondering if I'm going to be assaulted in the middle of the night. Kind of makes it hard to sleep at night when you think something might be coming out of the walls. Well, there you go. I have vented. I don't feel much better about it, but share your comments with me and let me know what you've experienced and what works for you. And hopefully we'll have this resolved by tomorrow.